All right, folks, welcome to the gold medal game. Here it is. The hometown Harvey Lakers, the 6th seed, have made it all the way to the gold medal game. In their path, the greatest foe of them all, the number 1 seed, the Dragons from Nashwaaksis Middle School. Couldn't have a tale of two different paths to this championship. Lakers coming in as the 6th seed. They had a great first set against Stanley in their 6 versus 3 matchup. Lost the second set, had to go to extra innings in the third to take the victory. And then the same thing against FCA. They played 6 sets. Nashwaaksis, on the other hand, is the 1 seed, got a bye. They did have to play 3 sets against George Street Middle School in their last game, but should be a little more arrested coming in.
Yeah. With all the games that Harvey's played, it's probably pretty tough to keep energy up, but they've been able to. Even in their game against FCA, they definitely didn't fall any more behind than their game prior to that. It's been really impressive to watch, as they are, like you said, the 6th seat, and they've been playing against teams that are, I believe FCA would have been the 2nd seat, and they were able to beat them. So I'm not sure how that works, but it's really impressive to watch, as they really were the underdogs in this matchup.
We are very impressed by the Lakers so far, and they've been rolling with 2 6-girl units, and we see the first one out to start. It will be Durrett, Giggy, Paul, Burgoyne, Albert, and in the back row, Gabrielle Little. As it's number 3, Anna Zubieta, up to serve for Nashwaaksis. Low serve, sneaks over. And there's an ace right off the bat for the Dragons, and they strike first against the Lakers. Coach Mackenzie McDonald reminding the girls of their defensive responsibilities. Both teams with some coordinated cheers as Paul sliding up to make the play, sends it out of bounds. And it's Anna Zubieta back to serve again. Here it comes, low over the net. Albert with a good pass there, direct response right at the front of the net. And punching it over the defense. Great work by Maddie Giggy.
Maddie Giggy, now I said this in the last game, a lot of really smart plays coming from her and a lot of really impressive serves as well. She made a really impressive call where she was able to call that the ball was out of bounds, barely went out of bounds, and it was really impressive, and it's interesting to watch her, as she isn't one of the eldest players, but definitely one of the smartest.
Yep, Giddy is in fact the youngest player out there on the court for the Lakers. The only grade 7 right now, with 5 other grade 8s starting. Lakers have kind of split their strengths a bit. We don't have the ages of the Dragons, as overhand serve from Neva Johnson will catch the top of the net. Keeping relatively close as it's Ella Durrett back to serve now. She wears number 5 for the Lakers. Good service. Good extension by the Dragons to keep it alive, and that's, I believe, number 9, Chantel. Paul Reed sending it over. Bit of confusion there for the Lakers as they will surrender the point. Just realizing they're all wearing those matching kind of green and gold hair bow tie things are the Lakers, so showing a lot of spirit. As Lexi Bordeaux, number 5, will send it out of bounds. Both teams, lots of spirit from the bench. As you can hear on the stream, we can definitely hear them up here in the skybox. Here's number 6, Rachel Burgoyne. Good service, looking for the back corner. That's fielded by the Dragons. And here's Burgoyne. Albert with a nice set, but it will fall on the Dragons' side. Not sure if that's how she drew it up, but a great move by Olivia Albert. Don't often see her in the setter's position, but she's doing a great job there here in the early going.
Yeah, definitely. That was a really good move there. She hit it even so that if the player running up to it didn't hit it, it still would go out over the net. I don't know if that was intentional, but it was a really good move.
Yeah, worked out well for the Lakers either way. It was Burgoyne with the ace to tie things up. And now it's all tied. Sorry, Lakers had taken a point. It's 5-5 now. As number 17, Chloe Thompson, goes back to serve for Nashwaaksis.
really high serves are something that I've seen from a lot of these Lakers players, and when they're playing sort of across in the smaller courts, they have the beams going with them, so a little extra space to hit that without hitting the ceiling, but now they have to watch out for those rafters.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, the previous games, the quarter and semifinals, were played on half courts, so this is a bit of an adjustment for the girls, especially the Lakers, who just played 6 sets on those half courts, and now they've got to get back used to the red lines on the full court. Oh! Lee Paul sneaking it over, a bit of a broken play. Not even fully sure she got the point, but indeed she did, as referee Barrio indicating for the Lakers. Bit of confusion there, but the coaches get them all corralled. Really nicely done by Olivia Albert. And here comes another service from Albert. And a lot of these Lakers have just gotten better as the season's gone on. Albert's been one of them. As response from the Dragons will score, and it is, I believe this is number 9, Chantel Paul Reed with the service. Bit of a side stance, but really centers that nicely. And it's the Lakers getting caught in a bit of confusion there. Very close. This does not look like a 1v6 matchup at all, as Dragons and Lakers going point for point right now. Here's Albert. Nice movement, responding. Dragons have it in their own end. Volleyed over. Durrett puts it up. Albert to the front of the net, and just underneath. Neither Little nor Gigi can get there in time. As Lakers coaches reminding their girls about proper positioning. Here's Paul Reed again on the service. Comes over. That's Little. Good hustle by Burgoyne trying to keep it alive, but unfortunately can't direct it towards anyone in a green jersey. And Dragons starting to pull away now. Here's Paul Reed again. Service low, and that is a little too low. Lakers will get that as referee Al Barrio motioning over to the minor officials. Big thanks to Wyatt Smith, Nolan Smith, and Hudson Mason, all 3 of them chipping in for this game. Fielded well by Bruneau directly to the Lakers. Looks like Little has it, and Lakers send it over. That's a little too high. Catches the rafters. That's something the Lakers know, that there are a lot of rafters right over the net, as Barrio just has the girls get out of the playable area. They've got lots of space to work with right now. High serve just skims under, and nice work by Little. This is her hometown gym. She knows exactly where to put that. And she gets her team back in the lead. Coach of the Dragons giving her girls some adjustments as that is played into the front and into the net rather. And now it's the Lakers who have built themselves a bit of breathing room on a 4-0 run, I believe. Service comes to the side, but it's still playable. Few Dragons coming in, and might have been a communication error there. So I think many Dragons converged on the ball. There was no one out for the second hit.
Yeah, exactly. Hard to tell who hit that one. So, and that ball lands just on the line perfectly. Very hard call there, but really impressive for the Lakers players.
And I'm not sure. Referee Barrio, I think he was signaling something. Oh, maybe just double checking the score there.
Yeah.
So I think he had to make sure it went to the right side. And again, Lakers another point here. Little on a great run.
Really impressive.
Maybe getting a timeout called soon. Not sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Another high ball sailing over, and that's played into the back row. And a lot of Lakers faithful in this crowd. There are definitely some Nashwaaksis parents in it. Indeed, we are going to have a timeout called here. Don't have the coaches' names of the Dragons, but a big thanks to them for getting their girls ready, as well as the coaching staff at Harvey High. On the bench right now are Kim Gigi and Mackenzie McDonald. Michelle Breed has also been coaching throughout the season. So a big thanks to all 3 of those ladies getting their teams ready. as we mentioned, our minor officials down there at the Don Fletcher minor officiating table are Wyatt Smith working the in-house scoreboard, and Nolan Smith and Hudson Mason, who are kind of teaming up to tackle the score sheet. Up here in the skybox, we've got Austin Jameson on the scoreboard, Winter Daniels on the camera, Ashton Little keeping an ear on everything at the console, and Cecilia Pauly joining me on color.
And thanks to you as well for doing play-by-play.
Happy to do it, especially when we see the Lakers with so much success, all 12 of them getting down to celebrate that ace from Gabrielle Little.
Really impressive, and exactly what you want to see coming out of a timeout called by the other team. They definitely wanted to capitalize on that timeout.
Here's another one. Bordeaux, good direct response. Little into her teammates, and Lee Paul sends it over. Great work by Meta Lee Paul, another one of those players, as we mentioned, just immense improvement as the season has gone on, has kind of played herself into a vital role on this team. As here's Little again. Direct response from Nashwaaksis, and finally, Little's serving hand will get a break as Nashwaaksis collects the point, and it is Veda Ash going back to serve.
16-10, that was a really impressive run that Gabby Little was able to go on.
Overhand serve fielded very well by Durrett, and Giggy coming in with lateral movement can't quite clear the top of the net. Ash will get another service now.
Yeah, she struggled to get underneath of that one, and it did come at her from a weird angle, so that's not surprising that one went into the net.
Yep. Hard, especially in motion, to kind of direct that ball where you want it, as overhand serve from Ash will catch the top of the net. That is a tough thing to master, the overhand serve at this level. It's just a matter of hours of practice. You haven't had quite as much time to perfect it as a great play at the front of the net. Ella Durrett, big block. And referee Barriel reminding the girls, proper etiquette, you got to roll the ball under the net when passing it to the other team. And here is Medalee Paul again. Bordeaux, direct response, that comes high up. Paul calling it, and Gigi tries to punch it over in motion. Timing doesn't quite line up, so it's over to Anna Zubieta. Back where we started, the first server of the game. Her team trails by 6 now. And misfire there. So Lakers looking pretty good right now as they round up on that magical 25-point mark. This will only be the first of 2 victories, so every set, every point, a crucial one. Ash backpedaling. Nashwaaksis, as this pinball's around, is about to say Nashwaaksis having some communication issues, but the Lakers can't quite get it over, so it doesn't matter on this point. And here's number 2, Neva Johnson. Johnson, overhand serve, winding up, it's a good one. Little, over to Albert, puts it up high and over. Direct response, tries to catch the Lakers sleeping, and she does. Great move by Chantel Paul Reed, wearing number 9 in the blue and white jerseys. And here's Johnson again. Neva Johnson. As I think that was Giggy with the response, but yeah, I just angled it towards the coach as Dragons are clawing their way back into this thing. And here's Johnson again. Solid overhand serve. Giggy fields it. Albert one-handed hits it over. Direct response. Giggy to Durrett, who volleys it. Nice play in the middle by, I believe that was Ash. Here's Albert sending it in the corner. Good save by Chloe Thompson, and Giggy with a nice dig. Hit now, Giggy. Great play to keep it alive. Little to Durrett. This is a great volley, but it goes out of bounds.
Really impressive back and forth rally there from both teams.
Yep.
And I'd just like to talk about the control from these Lakers players. All young players, but so much control on that ball. It's really impressive.
Yeah, very well played by the Lakers, as that one will go out of bounds. So Nashwaaksis on a 5-0 run now as they, catch up in this thing. And here's Johnson. Durrett to Albert, who sends it over. Johnson in the corner. That's sent over by Paul Reed. Albert from the setter's position, but guilty of a 2-hit there.
Yeah, that is a tricky issue. You don't see a lot of 2 hits at this level of volleyball, but at the senior level, that really is something a lot of players struggle with. So good to know now and fix that early on.
And coaches McDonald and Giggy have to get out of the way of that one, as we are now all tied up, 19 apiece. Neva Johnson on an excellent run, wearing number 2 for the Dragons. Can't quite send it, as Mackenzie McDonald will call the timeout now. Now Lakers, so far in this tournament, have been able to come out of their timeouts pretty strongly. In the first game against Stanley, I know I was calling that game, and Lakers coaches used the timeout exceptionally well.
Yeah, they were able to do that for multiple timeouts in this in their game against FCA as well. Really, really strong, using even the timeouts that the other team calls, so that the possession doesn't end up with the other team.
Speaks well to the kind of encouragement of the coaches and the focus of the athletes as well. As let's see how they do coming out of this timeout. Here's Johnson looking to extend the Dragons' tenuous lead. Giggy will send it out of bounds, so it is Nashwaaksis striking first. Out of that timeout is Mackenzie McDonald reminding the players how to move there, trying to follow through with the full body on the hit. Here's Johnson again. Giggy, good hit up. Little at the front of the net, sent right back over by Paul Reed. Durrett to Albert, looking back corner, but Dragons pull up erroneously. Thought that was going out, but referee Alberio making that call. That falls inside the red lines.
They also didn't notice that it hit off one of the hands of one of their players. I'm not sure if that player is going to fess up, but
yeah,
the whole team seems to be a little confused.
And now we're all tied up. Ella Durrett, strong server for the Lakers, very consistent. As there's that commentator's curse, unfortunately, as she sends that short side out of bounds. And it's over to Lexi Bordeaux for the Dragons. Here she is, her team leads by 1. And really good call by Maddie Giggy there. Nerves of steel.
Yeah, like I said before, even when they're losing, she's very, very calm, and she's able to stay composed and make these sorts of calls. A really
you said she made a call
player.
like that against FCA, eh?
Yeah.
Good honor, and now off that serve from Burgoyne, it's the Lakers with the lead. 23-22. Good time to remind you, you need to win by 2 points, as these teams have been close from the beginning. Pulled away a little in the middle, but they're back close again as we come to the end of this set. Giggy up front, sent over by Little. Great dig from I believe that's Johnson. Little again looking back row, kept alive by Zubieta. And here's Albert sending it over. One-hander from Ash. Albert again! Just playing ping pong now, and finally goes out of bounds. Some excellent rallies from both teams.
Definitely, yeah.
And it will be number 17, Chloe Thompson, back to serve for the Dragons. Nashwaaksis definitely brought some fan support, as you can hear in the stands, as well as on the bench. This will put the Dragons at set point now. Chloe Thompson can score here. And there's Giggy over to Albert, sneaking it over. Good recovery from the Dragons. Albert puts it up. Little sending it back row. Bordeaux tries the hit, but it will not go. That's too low. Lakers have it. And we are going into extra points now. 25 will not be enough. Here's Olivia Albert. Nicely done in the back row by Neva Johnson. Back row again, and that's off the fists of Albert into the corner. So again, we are at set point Dragons as they look to close out this first set. It is, no, Ash leaves it. Paul Reed, number 9, Chantel Paul Reed back to serve. Had a great run at the beginning of this set, but this will fall. It will cross the net, but on the wrong side of those kind of red antennae.
Yeah.
So we're all tied up again. Gabrielle Little had a nice run of her own. Brideau keeps it alive, but sends it over the head of her teammate. And it's set point for the Lakers now. And with their backs against the wall, timeout call by Nashwaaksis.
A really nerve-wracking game. You can see it from the players. Even those misplays on the ball, like some of the players have been doing. That misfire on that serve.
Every mistake feels amplified right now. But the thing is that it feels that way because you're here. But point number 1 counted just as much as point number 26. So these girls have done a great job getting here so far. One of these teams is going to be really disappointed at the end of this set. But it is first to 2 sets. So even the team that loses here can still take some energy in the fact that their season is not quite over yet. So you see the banner down there on the Don Fletcher Minor officiating booth, which will be awarded to one of these 2 teams. Either way, based on how they played, it will be a deserving victor.
Definitely, yeah.
Here's Gabrielle Little. Set point for the home side. And a miscommunication there. Lakers take the first one. 27-25. Third ace at the very least for Gabrielle Little. What a great exchange as these 2 teams get ready to swap sides. And we'll see what the next 2 sides have. We'll go now to an advertisement for one of our sponsors.
He takes the lead with 9 seconds left. This game isn't over just yet. Luke with the rebound. 6 seconds left. Now 5, 4, 3. He goes in. Ryan down.
Dad, I think it's time I get my own house.
All right, thanks so much. And that commercial for Scott Pierce, one of our corporate sponsors, as well as the Little Village Vacation Resort for Dogs. Big thanks to the directors of that commercial, Ashton Little and Cecilia Pauley, as well as our stagehands, Jay Gillett, Austin Jameson, and the editor, I believe, was Kevin Sheffers-Roy. Big thanks to the whole stream team for putting that together. Thanks to the folks working up here behind the scenes as well. We've got the aforementioned Austin Jameson on the custom scoreboard that he actually designed. It's awesome that we're able to use it so late in the season, but we managed to sneak it in there. We're glad that his work has not gone unappreciated. He's done a great job, and we're happy that we're able to share that with you. Big thanks as well to Winter Daniels, who has joined us to work the camera, as well as Ashton Little keeping an ear on things at the console. Full lineup swap for both these squads. They've both dressed 12 players for this crucial matchup. For the Lakers, it will be Cummings, Greer, Marchesano, Cleghorn, Breed, and McMullen. For Nashwaaksis, I see number 11, Bree Bork, number 12, Kaylee Stevens, number 13, Sarah Steves, number 15, Kiara McIsaac, number 10, Natalie Withers, and I believe that's number 1, Julia Miller in the close left corner. Referee Barrio gives the ball to the Lakers. It is their service first. And Lakers need the win to secure the victory and the banner. Nashwaaksis looking for a win to stay alive here. Here's McMullen. Sent over, and that's fielded well by Withers. McIsaac sends it, and Lakers can't respond, so it is the Dragons yet again striking first, as they did in the first set. And if you're just joining us, I would recommend you hit that back button, take that slider all the way back to the beginning. We had a great first set, very close. As number 11, Bree Bork, scoring an ace to get things started. Nashwaaksis out to an early lead as they were in the first set. And here's Bree Bork again. McMullen, good pass to the front. Greer can't quite corral it over to a teammate. That will hit the wall and is out of play. And here's Bork again. Low service. Cleghorn will send it into the antenna. So Lakers having a bit of trouble staying in the red lines.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, they were playing on a half court earlier. It's still the same like square footage of space, but it's laid out differently on the court. You have less room around you, so it takes some time to calibrate. There's a lot more empty space around them right now.
Yeah, it's a little more
confusing.
confusing. The court feels bigger too, even just looking at it. A few misfires here, but if the Lakers are able to come back from that, that would be nice.
Yeah. And a timeout called here by Coach McDonald as Lakers having a real rough go of it here in this second set. And she'll calm everyone down, make sure we're all kind of focused in the right direction. As Nolan Smith, one of our minor officials, jogs off to check on something. Referee Al Barrio keeping an eye on him. Big thanks to referee Al Barrio. He's been a mainstay here in the David McMullen Gymnasium all season long. We don't give awards for the most time spent in that high chair, but if we did, he would be the runaway victor.
Most definitely, yeah.
Solid service from Bork, fielded well by McMullen. Greer will send it over, so Lakers get it, and Nashwaaksis have trouble sending that over. So once the Lakers are able to find their space within the red lines, they're doing okay.
Yeah, I've seen this with this lineup, especially in the first game we saw. They sort of needed to get their bearings a little bit.
Service cross court from Chloe Cummings, just a little angled a little too sharply, and that falls outside the red lines. Here is number 12, I believe, Kaylee Stevens. Cummings sends it into the net, and that is unfortunately no good. So the Dragons score again. They lead by 7 now. And here's Stevens again. McMullen calling that. Good pass to the front, but Greer hits it as her coach is reminding her about the volley option there too.
Yeah, 8 points in the lead are the Dragons, and the Lakers are definitely going to need to pick this one up. They can't keep making these sorts of mistakes with misfires and miscommunication and things of the sort.
Yep, this is a number 1 seed for a reason. It's a strong Nashwaaksis team.
Yeah.
As we're seeing pretty deep as well as this second 6. Still performing quite well.
Yeah.
Kaylee Stevens sends that up and over. Anna Breed over to a teammate. McMullen in the back row. And can't quite send it over on the third hit. As Dragons really pulling away now. Double-digit lead here in the second set. Kaylee Stevens on a nice run. McMullen jogging up but sends it into the back row. And here's Stevens again. Solid hit. Cummings will receive that. Nice punch over, set over rather by Greer. Great work by Stevens. What a dig by Kaylee Stevens from her back row service position, digging up for the one-handed response. And Bork making sure the young child in the stands who had come out to dance was taking her talents otherwise. You can dance, but not in the playable area. Lakers catch a break there as that service out of bounds. Let's see if they can start clawing back into this. Here's Autumn Greer back to serve. Solid service up and over. Responded well by Nashwaaksis. Marchesano can't quite elevate that over the net. So Nashwaaksis will get the service back. It will be number 15, Kira McIsaac. Back to serve. And that's angled a little too sharply. And too horizontal for the Lakers to play. McIsaac gets it again. This one's high, but it will go over McMullen. Good hustle to make that play. 50-50 ball, and great work as Sarah Steves at the front of the net, making that net front block. Great play by number 13 in the blue and white jersey. And this will give McIsaac another kick at the can. Nice work by Autumn Greer. Sends it just up and over the net.
That sort of quick reaction time is exactly what the Lakers are going to need to get back in this game, as that's something that the Dragons do have and have shown themselves to be able to do time after time again.
Good hit from McMullen, so these net front responses working for the Lakers. They still trail by a lot, but good energy from the court and the bench. As let's see if they can keep that momentum going. Elise Marchesano, grade 7 student, will send that into the net. And it's Nashwaaksis now. Julia Miller, wearing number 1, will be back to serve. Solid service as Chloe Cummings will field that. Breed to McMullen, who sends it up and over. Here's Bork at the front of the net, but gets the angle wrong. And that falls on the Nashwaaksis side. 17-5 now as number 15, Grace Cleghorn, will go back to serve. One of only 2 grade 8s out there on the court right now. It's a younger squad for the Lakers. Greer to Breed, and McMullen sends it back row. Julia Miller is there. Here's Bork putting it up and over. Nice set from Anna Breed. McMullen with the hit. And this time, Stevens can't quite make it. Good dig attempt from Kaylee Stevens, but Nashwaaksis have a number 12 Stevens and a number 13 Steves. So we'll have to be careful about getting those 2 names correct for you. But it was a good dig by Stevens, number 12. Here's Steves, sending it up into the rafters, and that is out of bounds. So Lakers starting to close the gap as Cleghorn with another good service. Here's Bork at the front of the net. Hit goes just out of bounds from Natalie Withers. Looked like it was going to fall inbounds. That was a risky call.
Yeah, I was really nervous there, because had it have fallen inbounds, really no one was there at all.
No, that would have been a sure point for the visitors.
Yeah.
Yep. And that kind of evens out there as that next service from the Lakers will catch the net. And it's Sarah Steves back to serve. She's wearing number 13 in the blue and white jerseys. Solid service, Greer to Breed. McMullen will send it up and over, but Steves keeps it alive and out of the field of play. Miller can't quite get there in time.
Lakers doing a really good job of keeping this game alive. Speaking of that, very good comeback, 9-18, still trailing by quite a bit, but they have been able to pick this momentum back up.
Yeah, that pass just a little too close to the net for Greer to play with confidence, so Lakers will surrender the point there as number 10 Natalie Withers is back to serve. I believe she is the last server for either team. This one high, but it will go over. McMullen, that goes to the back row of her own side. No Laker can get there in time, and Cleghorn will send it back over. Withers again now. Her team with a commanding lead in this second set after dropping a nail-biter Dragons look in the driver's seat to send this to a third and decisive set. We're not quite done yet, but we're certainly getting closer.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard to come back from.
Yeah. Here's Natalie Withers. Another good service. Breed has that to Marchesano. And neither Laker can really angle it over the net. Might have been a bit of a miscommunication as both McMullen and Greer kind of in the area. And this sends Natalie Withers back to the service line. Low service as Marchesano sends it out of bounds. It's another point for the Dragons as they close in on that magical 25-point mark. This is the penultimate point. As Withers sends it up and over. McMullen, direct response, but Stevens is there. Nice play by Marchesano. One arm to keep it alive, but no third hit. As Lakers are doing all right with the initial hit, but having a hard time kind of thinking ahead for the second hit.
Yeah, most definitely. I've seen Emmy McMullen be able to get there just about every single time to get that first hit. She sets it up, and even if she hits the second hit, no one really is able to get there to get it. And that's the biggest issue, because even though she's able to set these players up, it's a little lack of communication, I believe.
If they all converge on the ball, not realizing that someone else has that responsibility, they're not in position.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes. That set is over now, so Lakers take the first very close affair, 27-25. This one was not, as the Dragons win that 25-9. We are going to a third and final set. This one will be 15 points as captains, I believe that's Neva Johnson and Maddie Giggy. That's Maddie Giggy on the Lakers side. We'll have to wait. And indeed it is number 2, Neva Johnson on the Dragons side. And not sure what the results of that coin flip were, but I'm sure we'll find out very shortly. Referee Al Barrio just consulting at the minor officiating table. Big thanks to those minor officials, by the way. Nolan Smith has headed home after work in the first 2 games of the tournament. Staying there are Wyatt Smith and Hudson Mason. Big thanks up here in the skybox as well to those working behind the scenes. We got Austin Jameson on the scoreboard that he designed. Winter Daniels working a camera. She did not design the camera, I'm told, but she's doing a good job pointing it in the right direction. And finally, big thanks to Ashton Little, keeping an ear on things at the console position.
Now, here's something I saw in their last game during a pause in our own. I think they're singing Baby by Justin Bieber.
Oh. That's a pretty old song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's very interesting. I hope we don't get copyright blocked and the live stream taken down. Could be a legal issue. I don't know how litigious Mr. Bieber is in his old age, but yeah, an interesting intermission tradition for sure.
Yeah, they seem to be a pretty vocal team, which I believe maybe why they are our first seed, because vocal teams are able to distract the other team, especially when they're serving, which we've seen them do.
Yep. They have a lot of those cheers. Definitely, whether it's to give energy to their teammates serving, kind of drown out the communication on the other side. I know traditionally in some sports, making that noise is something that you do to kind of distract the other side. We'll get a bit of a personnel swap right now out there for the Lakers. It is number 9, Maddie Giggy, number 4, Gabrielle Little, number 5, Ella Durrett, number 1, Olivia Albert, number 6, Rachel Burgoyne, and swapping in for this decisive set is number 3, Emmy McMullen. So a very heavily veteran squad, 5 grade 8 players out there, as well as their captain, Maddie Giggy.
You would want to have Emmy McMullen out for this last. This will be her last games
at the middle school level. For sure, yeah. As we see the cheering, hear the cheering rathers from the sidelines, and it sounds like teams are starting a bit of a war right now. We'll just take a break from talking.
Yep.
All right, and it looks like the coaches for the Dragons have shuffled up their lineups a bit as well. We have number 15, Kiara McIsaac, and number 11, Bree Bork, as well as number 10, Natalie Withers, from the previous combination of 6. They are joined by number 2, Neva Johnson, who was up there as like a kind of captain position, as well as number 5, Lexi Bordeaux, and number 21, Veda Ash. We don't have grades or ages for the Nashwaaksis players. I imagine more of their grade 8s are on the court right now.
Yeah.
As this is the middle school playoffs. And Ella Durrett sending it over. Bordeaux, direct response. Burgoyne sends it far, and Durrett can't get there in time. It is the Dragons, as they have for all the sets in this gold medal matchup, striking first. Here's Neva Johnson. Lakers had a lot of trouble with some of her overhand serves. Let's see how they can do now. Oh, tough call. Lakers thought that was going out, but it does fall inbounds. As Johnson records the ace. And Dragons up to a 2-point lead now in the early going. It's Johnson again. Albert sends it back row as her coach's reminder where to position and possibly to let that go out.
Yeah, with such a tough serve, it's hard to tell whether it'll just hit the line, but the further back you get, the more you'll be able to tell.
This one much more playable. Albert, direct response. Bordeaux with the hit, but Durrett is there. Here's Maddie Giggy on the third hit, looking back row. Nice work by Withers, keeping it alive. Hit from number 15, McIsaac. Giggy looking for the middle. Veda Ash is there. Good rally now as Giggy sends it over again. McIsaac, direct response. Durrett, and tough break as the Lakers both committed kind of away from that ball, unfortunately, at the front of the net. So after a really good rally, it's still Johnson who has the serve. Sneaks over, and it's a 15-point set. Dragons already a third of the way there. Bad news for fans of the green and gold. Here's Johnson again. Good service, Albert. Nice direct response. Ash coming up to play it. McMullen with the hit. And that's a nice dig from Johnson to keep it alive, but ultimately the response falls out. Lakers are on the board. Smart call from the Lakers there. I believe it was Giggy and Little who were kind of in the vicinity deciding to pull up.
Yeah.
Here's Little, big service to the back row. Bork is going to volley it over, but again it falls out of bounds. And momentum now swinging over to the Lakers side as they got a lot of support from the spectators in this gym. Bork again looking over, and again it falls out of bounds.
Another quick call for Maddie Giggy.
Yeah.
Exactly what you want to see in this game. She's been able to make a lot of tough calls for her team, and a lot of them are really exceptional calls, like very veteran type calls.
Yeah. Eagle eyes and a steely heart from number 9. As that is misplayed by the Dragons. Here's Gabrielle Little. Chance to tie it up now. Johnson calling it from the back row. Gets it over to Withers. And miscommunication there as a couple of Dragons freeze up. And now just like that, we're all tied up. And we'll get a substitution here. Something we haven't seen all game. Not even sure who they're calling up. As it's number 13, Sarah Steves, checking in for number 5, Lexi Bordeaux. Both fairly tall players, so
yeah,
kind of filling a similar net front role, rather. And good pull up from number 21, Veda Ash, to let that go out of bounds. So a couple of big runs on both sides for the servers. Both Neva Johnson and Gabrielle Little. Let's see if Sarah Steves, she's been rotated in here to serve. Nice low service. Little has that well. Maddie Giggy, direct response. Burgoyne will send that out of bounds. And
Tough
that will
break.
be, sorry, go on.
Tough break there for Rachel Burgoyne. Sorry to interrupt you.
No worries. It's a lot of energy in this trip. It's hard to hear each other up here.
It is.
There's Giggy sending it over. Burgoyne again. This one all just over the net. Nice work by Veda Ash coming up. McMullen with the hit. But Steves rather, at the front of the net. And second hit from Emmy McMullen on the front of the net. And with the Nashwaaksis Dragons at 8 points, we are going to switch sides. Lakers come over to the right-hand side of your TV screens. Have a bit of an informal break now as Lakers get back in position. Gives the crowd a chance to show their support. Here's Steves again now. Good low service. Little has that at the front of the net, but McIsaac coming in with speed to push it over. And Dragons again getting themselves a lead. This is only a 15-point set, and it is for all the marbles, and by marbles we mean banner. Durrett up to Maddie Giggy. McMullen will send that over. Nice dig in the back row from number 10, Natalie Withers. And this one will not go.
Good to see that point go to the Lakers. A lot of really quick moves there, especially from Emmy McMullen, who we did see in her other lineup, very fast player.
She can cover a lot of ground for sure, which the Lakers need right now in terms of defensive coverage. Bork with the set. Johnson winding up for a big hit, but Giggy is there. Here's Albert sending it over, but she's going to get called on the double hit. Tough break for the grade 8 player. And not sure who's next in the service order for the Dragons. Looks like it's number 15, Kiera McIsaac. Here's McIsaac. Good service. Giggy calling that and sends it right over. Nashwaaksis freezing up a little bit. Miscommunication there.
The more the Lakers are able to build up a momentum, the more nervous these Dragons players seem to get.
And we're going to have another swap in personnel. Lexi Bordeaux coming back in and Sarah Steves checking back out. So Bordeaux might be more of a defensive specialist. Steves had a good service run there. It's a high service to the back row. Johnson to Bordeaux. And Durrett with a nice block, but good work by Ash to keep that alive. Albert, what a dig! That won't go. Great slide by Olivia Albert. And you can hear the stands love that. Here's Emmy McMullen now. Up and over, Johnson keeps it alive. Bordeaux on the third hit has to send it back row. Giggy, nice work, but comes right to the hands of referee Barrio. 12-8 now. Not sure if we'll see a timeout called. Is another substitution. Dragons really moving some bodies in and out. We've got number 1, Julia Miller, checking in for number 11, Bree Bork. And looks like it is indeed Julia who's going to serve, Julia Miller.
They haven't put that 12th point on the board yet, so I'm not sure what's the deal with that.
Maybe wrong about it then. That point went up for the Lakers, so maybe there was an issue that we just weren't aware of.
Maybe, yeah.
9-11 is the score here in the gym, so we'll keep the score on our scoreboard. Thanks for pointing that out. Albert, direct response. Withers is there. Front of the net, Johnson versus Durrett. And it's the Lakers who come away with it. Great work by number 5, Ella Durrett. And just like that, Lakers back to within 1. They've gotten down, but just not out yet. It's Burgoyne's good service Over to Bordeaux, direct response. Albert setting up direct, but just can't clear the net. Tough break for the Lakers, as that was a pretty well set up play.
That was, yeah. Sometimes it's just better to play it safe, because even though FU are able to score a lot of points off of the plays like that, you can also lose points like we just saw.
Service from Ash will catch the top of the net. So Lakers come away with it. And here's Olivia Albert. She's in grade 8, wearing number 1. And she sends that over. Miller, direct response out of bounds. 12-12 now, as we are all tied up. And yet another substitution. I think Miller's coming out and Bork is coming back in. So Miller came in just to serve. Bree Bork, defensive specialist, back on the court. Here's Albert with the service. Bordeaux, response, and Gigi, I think, as soon as she hit that, knew that was going out, and getting some reinforcement there from the coaches.
That's a tough play there. Game within 1 point, 13-12. No mistakes can be made here by either team.
Here's a service from Withers. McMullen has that. Durrett sending it over. Ash from the back row, and Bordeaux puts it up and over. Durrett sends it back to the Dragons. Here's Johnson, but that will go out of bounds. So we're all tied up, and again, as a reminder, you still need to win by 2. So as these teams both approach 15 points, 15 may not be enough. As Johnson sends it over. Durrett over to Gigi, looking for a hole in the defenses. Nice lateral movement by Ash to cover that. Hit from the Dragons will go out of bounds. And this will put the hometown Lakers at set point. You can feel the energy, you can hear it in the stands. Let's see if they can bring it home. Durrett to Gigi. McMullen sends it over, but it's out of bounds. We are going into extra points yet again. Wouldn't have it any other way for these Lakers. They've played tight sets all tournament long.
Yeah, really impressed with both of these teams.
Johnson serving again. Could be bad news for the Lakers, but Gigi called on the double hit. That's tough, as that was a really close call, but Lakers guilty of the infraction, and now it is Nashwaaksis at set point. Neva Johnson, their captain, will make this service. Misplayed by the Lakers, that's it. The Dragons win. The number 6 seeded Lakers gave them everything they could handle. But at the end of the day, it is the number 1 seeded Nashwaaksis Middle School Dragons taking home the banner. Big congratulations to them. Huge congrats to the Lakers as well. Massive underdogs for making it this far. Heartbreaker to have it end like that, but the girls should hold their heads up high. They played an excellent tournament.
That was really impressive. They played as the 6th seed, beat just about every team, and almost, they were so close to winning this game against the Dragons. However, they just couldn't come away with it.
They won sets against the 3rd seeded team, the 2nd seeded team, and the 1st seeded team here. But ultimately, Dragons just a little too tough for them to handle.
Yeah.
As here's Athletic Director Michael Fletcher to present the banner. As the girls cheer there. I don't think there will be any kind of ceremony. We'll just give a shout out to the folks working behind the scenes one last time. Big thanks to the minor officials, Hudson Mason, Wyatt Smith, as well as Nolan Smith, who had to leave down at the Don Fletcher minor officiating booth. Big thanks to referee Al Barrio as well as the coaches of the Nashwaaksis Middle School Dragons and coaches for the Lakers, Michelle Breed, Kim Gigi, and Mackenzie McDonald. Up here in the skybox, we've had Austin Jameson working the scoreboard, Winter Daniels on the camera, Ashton Little at the console position. Big thanks to you, Cecilia.
And thanks to you as well. Really good game and really good games from our Lakers and from all the teams that came out to play. Thanks to you all.
Yeah, we've got one last game for you. Our last game is tomorrow at 5:15 as the Lakers JV girls will close out the season here in the David McMullen Gymnasium. They take on the Central New Brunswick Academy team out of Doketown. Not sure what their team name is, but make sure you tune in for that. The last stream of the season here for the Stream Team. Thanks so much for tuning in all season long. We've appreciated it. Take care, and we hope to see you tomorrow.